Hey everybody, it's another edition of Comics Cast. Let it out on this beautiful Sunday. And I want to welcome you all here because I have my brilliant, super talented, special co-host again, Rick.
Rick,
Rick, say hi. I want to get your get your propers out there. Make sure that we properly show some love to my co-host Rick here. And I want to welcome everybody to yet another Comics Cast here. Let it out on a beautiful Sunday. And just before we reveal who our guests are, if you don't know who they are from the Facebook alert that went out, I just want to take care of a little bit of Comics Cast, self-promotion here. So if you look at the bottom, we are really trying to push our YouTube. And if you found us on Facebook already, or if you just stumbled upon us, make sure you like us, follow us, but also get on YouTube, because on YouTube as well as Facebook, we have a link to all of our, or at least the majority of our past episodes of Let It Out and the Artist Roundtable, which is the art show. There's plenty of great content in there. There's lots of really talented independent creators, from writers, inkers, pencilers, you name it. Just lots of really good stuff. So I encourage people to go check that out, and also like and subscribe, because we really need those likes and subscriptions, because it'll make it much. Wait, why is your subscription button red there, Rick?
What?
I see your mouse moving. How did you?
No.
Okay, we talked about this last week. I gave you a pass. You didn't subscribe, even though you're my wonderful co-host. But how did you unsubscribe? What happened here?
I'm a busy man, okay?
Busy doing something.
I'm a big deal, okay? I don't have time to remember. No.
Oh, okay.
I subscribe to resubscribe to make it look great.
Okay.
I'm a professional, Gerald. You should know.
He is. I think this is a good. I think Rick was just doing his part to illustrate how our viewers right now can go to the Indie Comics Cast webpage and how they would subscribe. That's what you were doing, right? You were showing how you subscribe.
Just like this.
Right. Great instructional lesson here. So definitely
I should make a tutorial for it.
Right.
5-hour tutorial.
5-hour tutorial. So look for that in the future. There'll be a nice 5-hour tutorial. So anyway, go to Indie Comics Cast on YouTube. There's a short URL at the bottom in our scrolling ticker that's compliments of Rick. He took care of that for us. And also, you saw how to subscribe. So that being said, I want to dive right into talking about our guests. So our big reveal is, let us welcome, woohoo, here we go. We have Plus WACO Comics. How you guys doing?
Doing great, man.
Pretty good.
Great. Yeah, fantastic.
So all the way from Texas, you may have heard of Houston, you may have heard of Dallas, you may have heard of Austin, but now you're going to hear about WACO, because WACO is going to be on the map because of these guys, Plus WACO Comics, which is comprised collectively of Armando, Joey, and Danny. So welcome to the show, guys. Say hi to everybody.
Hey, guys.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us. We're excited.
Like I said, we are thrilled to have Danny and Joey. Armando we're also thrilled to have you back here, because you were a guest on our show in our infancy, and we were always thrilled to see your art, and then you kind of like brought your partner in crime with you. We had a guest appearance by Mr. Danny Flores there on the bottom. Yeah, and it took this long to get him to be on the show with you. And I know that you're doing your best to like push him out there in the forefront. Yeah. So
he likes to say low profile because that celebrity status. He doesn't want.
He'll get used to it. Trust me.
I can't go to the grocery store without being harassed. Sir, can you put these? Can you push this basket back for me?
I thought you were going to tell me that it's because of the paparazzi in Waco. Waco has such a social scene that you guys are making so much waves that you can't keep, all the fangirls and fanboys and
it's not Hollywood anymore. It's Waco.
Yeah, Waco's the scene. Waco's the scene. But I want to welcome you all because the bonus, because we definitely had Danny that commandeered that commandeered your show there, Armando. We have Joey Gonzales here is our new addition to the boy band. I'm going to call it the WACO boy band here, or is it the girl band? We talked about Destiny's Child and NSYNC. I don't know what that is. But we'll talk a little bit about that a little later on.
We'll figure it out.
But Joey is the I guess he was the new part of the equation. Well, actually, I think he was working with you guys already. We just didn't know what he looked like until today.
He's the writer. Nobody cares about the writers, man.
Yeah, he only comes up with a story. Yeah, whatever.
I know, right?
Well,
don't listen to them, Joey. I write as well, and people care about me, so they'll care about you one day.
Man. I care about you too.
You better.
It's all about the care. That's what Comics Cast is all about. We want to promote independent comic creators, and today is no different. It's going to be super easy to care about these guys because their work is phenomenal. Our viewers are, I say this every time, you're in for a treat because, we wouldn't have these type of guests if they weren't phenomenal, and we're gonna get to see that. So this is the part of the show where we call it the kind of like the elevator speech, where you get to talk about. I give the mic to our guests, and you basically can give your spiel. Armando was very he was very gracious in saying that he was already on the show already, so he wanted to give the limelight to you guys because I tell you they're going to be beating down the doors to meet you guys after they see some of the artwork and read the stories. But Armando, we're going to show your artwork real quick. There's a lot of pieces here. We're just going to scroll through it. You just tell us a little bit about yourself up to the point where Plus Waco came into the scene. But here you go.
Yeah.
Let's just talk.
We're all just kind of like independent creators and artists foremost. So we all had a lot of work before this, but we'd always talked about kind of starting the Plus Waco. And so a lot of this stuff here is like my private commission work or like previous published covers that I've done, things like that. So you'll definitely see a difference in our work, but also how we kind of all tie in together with the same interests and likes and influences. So from different other previous artists and creators and stuff like that. So some of these designs, I have a TeePublic up where you guys can get some t-shirts if you want to order some t-shirts or some of these
definitely hit up him.
to DC events. This one was that Dead Man was a submission to DC. There's Black Toro there. The next one for Plus. Little quick design I had to whip up, and some more private commissions and stuff. So there's a homage commission.
I'm just going quickly through them while you tell a little about yourself.
Yeah. And so that's kind of what I've been an illustrator for a while now. I've been fortunate enough to have some opportunities to get some published work. But I'm still growing as an artist. I'm still challenging myself every day and with different things. Definitely trying to jump into the digital realm. I'm mostly traditional, like all traditional.
Oh,
so
nice.
Any kind of colored work that you see is I hire freelance colorists. But all the pencils and inks and stuff are my originals and stuff like that. So I'm definitely influenced by guys like Jay Lee, Bill Sienkiewicz, guys that are a little different than the normal kind of really fine artists like Neil Adams, those kind of things. So I try to bring something different to characters. Each piece that I do, I try to feel the character and kind of how I envision them. So
I really like your work. I got to be honest. This is the first time I see your work, and I usually try not to see your work before I accept people's work before I see it live to get the proper reaction. And this is just wow. Your ability to mix color and understanding the color theory just in pieces like this is just fantastic.
Yeah, I definitely am bad at hashtags and promoting I just post it, and then also I post at 4 a.m. because I work pretty late, so I don't pick a time to where
that's a good time someplace.
Some places it is, but a lot of and I'll get messages a month later, hey man, is this available? I'm like, no, dude, that's long gone.
That's gone.
Oh, I just saw it today, and it's
Hey, well, you know what? That's part of it. Your stuff is in such demand because it's so unique looking. I think that it's instantly recognizable as this is Grifter from Wildcats and there's Doctor Strange. But what's so cool is that it's like you definitely put your signature style on it. I mean, it's not 100% true to like whatever the comic costume, superhero costume, but it's recognizable still, and that's your signature. And I love the looseness of it. It's so dynamic. And then I call it like the I think this is your selective use of color. It's kind of like that movie Schindler's List by Steven Spielberg, where it's a black and white movie, but there would just be a selective use of color to draw your eye to it and just pop it,
And part of that is just because I'm broke and I don't have money to buy lots of.
That's always the good. That's always the good excuse.
I don't know about that. I watched one of your videos, Armando, and you were like just talking, and you decided you were going to sort through your art supplies. And I never saw so many different types of art, like markers and pens galore. It was like I don't know, it was a smorgasbord of just
I literally
art supplies.
Hit the clearance bin at our local LCS.
Hey, well, it's
get rid of these markers. Let me grab them.
Yeah, well, it's not the expensive stuff. It's the stuff that makes things work. And you could be using crayons, and I think it would still look just as great. So this is you're very welcome. It's so well deserved. So I want people to go check it out. You see at the bottom, these are all plus ways you can get in touch with plus WACO. But if you look at everybody's our guests' little personal windows, that's how you can get in contact with them personally. So if you want to see more of his art, of Armando's artwork, or hit him up for some commissions, because he does post them up late at night. The guy is super prolific. He just banging out
early in the morning
all the time. Yeah. But I think that's kind of funny, because we're going to talk a little bit about his compadres here in terms of like they do some of their best collaborative work after midnight, because I think they all get on Skype or Zoom or whatever it is, and that's when they start doing their collaborative magic. So with that, let's go meet Joey, who I'm gonna call the Justin Timberlake. He's the we joked around in our pre-show, and Armando and Danny gave me a little bit of a hard time about it, because I said so. Joey is the eye candy for plus WACO, and immediately Danny jumped on it and he goes, "What are you saying, Gerald? Are we like trolls?" And I was like, no. And this is me coming clean, because I want to say what my follow-up was, because I want to make sure it's true to the audience. We may have Joey, who is definitely the eye candy, but we got the booth babes of Armando and Danny. So when you see them, when cons become a thing again after this COVID madness is over, you're gonna see cons, you're gonna see plus WACO at them. They're gonna be all over Texas, and hopefully I'll see you guys on the East Coast as well as the West Coast. But you're gonna have the two booth babes that'll be flanking the eye candy, which is Joey. So Joey,
Armando.
you are. Oh yeah, Joey, you're the writer. Yeah. So tell us about yourself. Tell us about yourself.
I was first introduced to comics as a young kid. I walked in with my dad to a free comic book day event. I was hooked ever since. I think I picked up an Ultimate Spider-Man issue. Ever since then, I was hooked on any kind of TV show, comic book, movie about superheroes or comics that I could find. I also got really into anime and manga around that time too. And I didn't start writing until 2016, 2017. And so from there, I started my own little, two of my own little comics, To the Line and Grease Monkey Angel, which is what you see over there, To the Line right here. My history, I'm actually an inline speed skater. I used to travel the country and travel the world to train and compete. So whenever I first got into writing comics, I got as many like how to write books as I could find. And in one of the first lessons was write what you know. So I decided to write a semi-autobiographical book. I put it out on Kickstarter, and it's now on 6 continents, which is really cool.
I knew I've seen you before somewhere. I've been sitting here racking my brain ever since you jumped on. Like, where the hell have you seen this guy?
Well, what it is because Rick is a big fan of American boy bands, and that's where he saw Joey before. So that's where he's getting confused a little bit there. But I just wanted to tell you,
I'm gonna step away from Gerald's comments here. They're totally not okay.
Oh, they're okay. They're okay. We like to joke with each other. But one of the things that we in our pre-show, Joey, you talked a little bit about. This is it's write what you know. Was it? Did I mishear? Were you like possibly going to be like on the Olympic inline skating team? Was that something that
I was like 5 to 6 stones away, but it was definitely in the vision. It was in the path for it. Just that I had. There were about 3 or 4 Olympians that went through the same training that I did. But some things came around. It's all good. It still might be on the table. We'll see.
Yeah, well, I think that's one of the things is that fate intervened because plus Waco Comics had to happen, and that's the reason why
we're still rooting
things happen.
for that aspect just in case our comic fails. We could be like his manager or something.
That's smart. Cheerleaders, pump on.
Because he's gonna have his inline speed skating uniform, but it's gonna have plus Waco Comics, like it's gonna be like NASCAR. He's gonna have like all sorts of logos like plastered all over him. That way when he's speed skating, it's like go get plus Waco Comics.
So your old projects here? Are they part of the official Waco Comics universe as well?
No, that was before we got to it.
Those are too good for us, he said. He said, I want all the money from these myself. I don't want to share. These are mine. He's like David Lee Roth and Van Halen.
So who is Sammy Hagar here? You're gonna like. But yeah, people are there. We got somebody here. It says, "Where can I get Grease Monkey?" from Saeed. So I think that Saeed, if you're interested in this, definitely talk to. Joey, you can reach him personally through his social media handle there and check him out. He'll be more than happy to hook you up with that. But it definitely shows the love here because I think that these have definitely a manga, anime, Japanese influence. And we were talking a little bit about how I'm a big fan of Oh Great, who did Air Gear, and so I definitely see that kind of inspiration and just write what you love. And I think that's we're building up to that climax here to talk about you've created this new universe with plus Waco, and we're going to get to that point. But let's move a little bit further on to now we get to talk to the man here, Danny Flores. So Danny, the mic is in your hands now, and no pressure because Armando has been selling you like crazy. He doesn't really, he could say nothing and I would look at your artwork and it would speak volumes, but you got a big fan in Armando. So give us your elevator speech. Tell us who you are, what you're about, how you met these two characters, and what your role is in the boy band.
I guess I'm the manager. I put them out and make them dance, and then I'm the one behind the scene. No, that doesn't even fit because I'm the one doing the entire first book. So
true.
No, I've been drawing for a long time. I hit a point, I guess, man, when I was about 18 or 19, that I really just said, I've either got to put it all into comics or none of it into comics and go get a real job. So I kind of put comics on the back burner for like 20 good years. And it wasn't until a few years ago that I just started getting back into it. And I discovered a bunch of, like, just following comic sites and everything. I would just put stuff out sporadically, just looking more for submission requests. As a young kid, you look very young.
I think that was meant
for Joey. Yeah, that was meant for Joey.
He was sitting there as a young kid. I'm like, dude, you're still young.
No, you gotta hear Joey. You gotta hear Joey.
There's a little delay in his comments.
When he gets into his story, really, he'll be like, "Oh, you guys, I left my job and thought, what was I gonna do with myself?" I'm like, "Dude, you're 22. What am I gonna do for the rest of my life?"
You just moved away from home, man.
Yeah. Well, he moved from one side of the house to the other.
And it's so funny because Danny was talking about how you might want to I think you got Joey had a little bit of an accent there, but it's so funny is because you said that Danny said I took a little break, for 20 years, and then meanwhile Joey was born.
Yeah.
and then he became of age when Danny decided to say, you know what, I need a writer, and there was the writer.
It was Joey. Yeah.
He was ready to go.
So Joey, whether you like it or not, that's your destiny now. You're gonna write for Danny all the rest of your life because
exactly
he set it up to be like that.
Yeah, because he's the band manager, and you signed the contract. You're going to be dancing for the rest of your life. But I wanted to show this artwork, and this is what floored me, honestly. I mean, these first things that we just showed that Rick's been scrolling through, and Danny, anytime that you want us to stop, if you want to talk a little bit about it, but this is what you can expect from Plus Waco from Danny Flores. I mean, these are fan arts, these were things that he was submitting to DC and Marvel, but they're so professional. I mean, look at this. I mean, you don't see any of the word bubbles, but every panel already tells the story. You don't need to see the words. It's just so well done. So Danny, you want to talk a little bit about it?
You really know how to use the panels just right. I'm impressed.
Thank you. All of these are just pieces that samples I put together. That Spider-Man sample was actually a script from Marvel. I had a tryout with them about a year ago. They said I wasn't good enough, so I was like,
what?
okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they said I wasn't good enough. They actually sent me two scripts. They sent me that Spider-Man script and a Defender script I have the Defender script put up somewhere. But this Avengers sample is what I submitted to them. And I did this really fast when I found out they were going to be at in Dallas for a fan expo. It was going to be both DC and Marvel. So I put this script together, this Avengers right here versus Kang. And then the next ones you're going to see the Black Widow, Winter Soldier, because they want to see you. Not only can you do action pieces, but just two people holding a conversation, just sitting there talking, whatever, in common space, whatever. So I put those two together, submitted it. I got the tryout from them, and then got the rejection from Marvel. And the opening script that we saw, the Superman one, that was for DC's Fandom all the way at the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was for DC's Fandom they were having this year. They were holding open portfolios, and I was like, oh man, I've got 5 days to get this in. And so I did it in 4 days, and apparently they had already closed their portfolio submissions. So now I just have these five random Superman pages just laying around the house.
That is their loss.
At least now you have them for the potential future.
That's true. That's true.
If this Waco business doesn't take over, then maybe.
What do you mean doesn't?
Maybe.
It's going to. It's gonna take over the world. But I remember seeing that on social media. I think it was just very, DC was going through that really tumultuous time, and they laid off half their workforce right before DC Fandom, and I think that was just kind of it was
probably carryover. It was carryover.
It was definitely a promotion for their what they're trying to go forward with, which is okay. That's fine.
Yeah.
Well,
the ones that Danny submitted was supposed to be for sequential review, and the people that they chose didn't even have sequential. They just
I saw that.
So I don't know.
Okay. Well, that like I said, these were all in the divine scheme of things. This just made Plus Waco even more relevant in terms of making that happen. Okay, so this is where as Rick is going to go through this here, Danny. I just want to say that okay, before you get to the next page, because this is I'm
not planning to. I'm a professional.
Because I spliced this page together because this is a double page spread here, and it's wow. I mean, I could actually see this as a movie. I mean, this reads like a movie, but it's sequentials, and you just see the power in this. And Danny, I think you guys as a team, with the future writing that's going to be coming out of this, we got Armando who's going to be adding those phenomenal inks and colors and points of view, but you have the storytelling and these panels that we see. This is what Plus WACO Comics is about, and this is where we're going to show the new characters. But before we do that, Rick, let's call up their Kickstarter.
Okay. I'll just let you talk and do all the work then. Now here, I just wanted to say that I do critiques almost weekly, one way or the other, by people DMing me, asking me, or on my Discord or something like that, when it comes to comics. And I must say, from a critical viewpoint, you do have it in my eyes. I don't know why they said no. Maybe yeah, you could do a little more work with the panel build up some places, but that's it. The art in itself is absolutely great. So it might be the technical that was the issue more than anything, and that's just a little a small thing, and you can change that easily. But now you got this. Now you're gonna take over the world with WACO instead and say, "Ha! Screw you, Jim Lee. Screw you, Jim Lee. I was right."
Well, that's what I wanted to say, because what the story that I've heard, and we're gonna go into their Kickstarter real quickly. But I wanted to talk about just my observation here, because as I have looked at this artwork, it reminds me of. We talk about the Todd Father on a lot of our shows, and Todd McFarlane is famous for showing all of his rejection letters and talking about saying when you come up with your creation, your original character, your IP, he said no one cares. No one cares, but he didn't mean that in a bad way. It's the job of the independent creator, what you guys are doing, to make people care about it. These are going to be, are new characters. This is a new universe. This is you don't have hate for the big guys, but you're going to say that, what, I'm not going to let rejection hold me back. And
I was just about to say what Roy Matato so brilliantly commented. The art's so good, it's probably a not yet rather than a no, and I agree. Completely.
Yeah,
I see professionals in both DC and Marvel that does worse art than you, so I'm sure it's because of they got 1,000 people ask them to join them pretty much every month. So it's not easy. It's almost easier to do this these days than it is to get in there.
Yeah. So let's call up their Kickstarter page one more time, because I wanna get to the point where they talk about how they met, the genesis of Plus WACO, how they came together. But before we do that, I wanted to show at the bottom here. So now, go check out Plus WACO Comics, their Kickstarter. It's right there at the bottom. You can also go to Kickstarter and just type in Plus WACO Comics. But so this is what we're talking about, and we're going to take a moment here to Rick play their opening sequence, because I was wowed by this. So here we go.
Plus Universe Alpha is a 66-page original graphic novel featuring the incredible art of Danny Flores, with letters by veteran letterer Hector Negrete, featuring the colors by Eisner Award-winning colorist Paris Elaine.
Hi, my name is Joey Gonzales. I am the co-founder and writer for Plus WACO Comics, and it is my honor to welcome you to the Plus Universe, beginning with Plus Universe Alpha. Alpha shows the violent, chaotic origins of this universe, from the birth of life to the ravages of a godly civil war over power and duty, to the dawn of the first generation of superheroes. We started the Plus Universe after we sent in submission after submission and getting rejected over and over again, feeling that we were seeing a lot of the same thing on the shelves. We decided that we should just make our own brand new characters with diverse backgrounds and compelling narratives to tell captivating, badass stories that we would love to find on the shelf. From myself and the Plus WACO Comics team, thank you for stopping by our Kickstarter campaign. Become a backer today and receive awesome rewards, including physical and digital copies, raw variants, custom commissions from Danny Flores and Armando Ramirez, and so much more. We truly enjoy what we have built here. We hope that you will too. and we hope that you'll join us on this journey through this new universe together. Thank you.
Oh man, I felt like I was watching Christopher Reeve's Superman movie. You know, the watching it for the first time and then mixing it up a little bit with the modern versions of DC superheroes. That soundtrack, that production, the narration. I don't know if people weren't going to buy it before. If they see this video, I think it's going to definitely want to make them do it. So
Maybe I should unmute myself so I can be heard.
so Danny, we're gonna talk more about your Kickstarter.
Before we start, this number here is in Danish kroners, so don't go holy shit, that's a lot of money.
Like, oh man, I can stop working for the rest of the year.
It's converted from 5,000. So just before you go, woo! No, it's Danish. It's Danish money.
Yeah, we joke around a little bit about that because I definitely, as my co-host Rick, I delegated some duties, and it's so funny seeing that because that's to show you the reach that Comics Cast has. You guys went from all the way to $32,000 US, just in that short amount of time. But yeah, that's
you're welcome.
Yeah, but Danny, we're gonna talk. We're gonna talk more about this toward the end of the broadcast because we want to talk, just a little bit about the Kickstarter. But we're gonna get to them to just like the who how you guys formed and the characters, and then we're going to do the live drawing. But we're going to definitely reveal this because you guys are already 100% funded. It's the cake is already baking. It's just a matter of putting icing on it now because the stretch goals are there. There's all sorts of cool things that you can do. If you want to learn more about the creators, as well as see some bonus artwork that you can get. But that being said, Danny, tell us, or actually all three of you, just go ahead and talk about the formation of Plus Waco. We talked a little bit about how you all kind of experienced bits of rejection here and there, but that's not going to hold you down. And you formed Plus Waco. So tell us a little bit about that.
I think, Mondo and I met first at a local convention here in the back of a hotel. And it was for comics, not for anything else.
Yeah, because it sounded like that.
Yeah, no, it was, I had to clarify before that totally went off the rails.
Too late.
Which is what the name of the con was, off the rails. Anyways, no, we met there and we just kind of started hanging out, and we formed a little art group here locally with a couple of other people, and we were trying to just get people interested in art other than fine art, because we have a fine art group, but a lot of people don't really do that. There's a lot of manga, there's a lot of comics, there's a lot of anime fans out there, there's a lot of video game artists out there. They buy the books behind the scenes drawing. Like I love the Capcom books. I love those Street Fighter books. Man, those things are awesome. And I know the Final Fantasy books are filled. You can sit there and say they're video game characters, but those things are fine art pieces, and so we just wanted to create a space that would allow for that to take place here locally in our community. That way we wouldn't have to travel to Austin or Dallas or Houston or any places like that. We could just stay here homegrown and enjoy it here. We started doing that, and then I started putting together local drinking draws where we would just get together, hang out, enjoy each other's company, start chit-chatting about things that we had going on, and what projects we might be thinking about and everything. And that's when Mondo and I met Joey. Joey was working at the local comic shop, and he would talk to customers and everything. And I think we held one of the drink and draws at the sister store for the comic shop, and Joey was working that night, and he just kept walking by, 'cause, he was working, he was busy being a server. And he saw what we were doing, how we were, just drawing and kind of just really just putting lines to paper, and he was amazed. I was like, this is trash. and the thing Joey would say is like, dude, how are you gonna do that? Because I think he saw me draw something, either me or Mondo. He saw one of us draw something, and we were almost done with it, and then we just took an eraser. We took like just an eraser, like, no, I don't like it anymore.
Yeah,
Just
look at Joey.
completely wiped the thing away.
They always wait to like the last seconds where they're almost ready to ink it, and they're like, nah, and just the whole thing.
Yeah, I know that feeling. I've seen that before, where people artists do that, and you're like, just like, you could have sold that, you idiot. You could have flipped that, and someone would have bought it.
Man.
Yeah, that is such a great story because it's like I said, back of a or like you said, back of a hotel. You got, and then of course, you have the drink and draws, of course, and all that other stuff. But then you have Joey, who just happens to be walking by, and it's like he's walking by, and then he goes, like, well, where is that?
Right. And the thing about it, because this place that we were hanging out at was very, pop culture centered, or like, comic fandom centered. Like, we had a lot of people always ask us, like, hey, I have this story, or I've got this idea, or I've got this comic, or this, game idea, or whatever. Would you guys like to work on it? And we would always ask, like, well, do you have like a script, or do you have original designs or concept? And then I'll be like, well, no, but I can give you an idea, and we can kind of, it just kind of leads to us doing, pretty much all the work. And but Joey was like really persistent. He'd come in with like idea sheets and like little doodles, like he doodles, and he's like, I know this is good, but this is the idea I had. And he showed a lot of promise on really being serious about it. And so
he did a lot of legwork.
Yeah, a lot of legwork. And so that kind of made us feel comfortable, and hey, let's see what he does, because if anything, he'd be open to doing work as well as us doing it. And so that kind of led to ideas sprouting and us hanging out more and brainstorming more. So
and you buying him booze, and because he didn't have the ID.
Yeah,
it had to be root beer. It had to be root beer in public.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think he was probably at your drinking draws, but he probably saw you at those con appearances. But that just goes to show, you guys definitely have a really, you have a deep talent pool here. You got experience and just energy, to create, plus WACO Comics. And such a great story of you guys coming together, and now we get to see it. It's available, and it's going to happen because it's 100% funded. And like I said, it's just about getting the icing now before it's it's going to be revealed to the world. And I think that's one of the things too, is that we saw Dan. We're gonna actually let's pull up that PDF. We're going to reveal 5 characters from the Plus WACO Comics. I guess
Plus
it's called
WACO Universe.
Plus WACO Universe, right? And
it's a Plus Universe. The
Plus Universe, yes. And while we do that, how about I think Joey, when I talked to him yesterday, he had some really a cool way of describing. I asked him, what does Plus WACO mean? What does plus universe? How did you come up with that? So tell us a little bit, Joey. What is the meaning behind it?
So it kind of dawns onto like the first idea I've had about making Plus WACO Comics, which was I was in the comic book store right after I left my job, and I didn't know what to do. Danny, stop saying something.
I just left my job. I was lost. I didn't know what to do. What was I going to do? Look, I still had to go to school the next day, guys.
What did I do? I called Joey. I called Danny. Hey, Danny, what do I do with my life?
What do I do with my life?
It's like, don't join the cult, bro. I don't know.
Nah. I mean,
my mom was picking me up from the skating rink. I don't know what I was gonna do with my life. I was lost, guys. I was lost. I didn't have my Game Boy with me.
Hard times hits different.
Yeah.
Okay.
We totally joke about Joey being young, but honestly, man, like he keeps us going, man. Like he is
focused.
We love it, dude. We give him a hard time, but we really appreciate him being the young buck and he's hungry for it. So
for sure.
It probably also helped you get even hungrier by seeing how hungry he is.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. We got a little. We had a tangent here. Joey was about ready to give his reveal.
Yes.
Tell us, Joey.
What Plus WACO means is plus us. Like, why not us? Why can't we put out the books that we want to make. And it just, it's like, stop making excuses. That's like why we're not doing it, and just do it. So that's what Plus WACO Comics means.
Yeah, that's brilliant. I in fact, I couldn't help but, well, now listening to you guys go back and forth, I'm about on the verge of tears from laughing so hard. But when Joey told me that, it was like the hairs on my neck just like kind of rose up, and I was like, gosh, that's some deep thought here. And it's from the young buck. It's the guy who's authoring, who's writing. Of course, it's a collaborative process. I think all of you are involved with it, but that was just a very deep thing to say. It's like there's a meaning behind it. The name just didn't come, because it was just it didn't just come into your mind out of just
because it sounded cool.
Yeah. It does sound cool, but there's a deeper meaning behind it, and that's what I really appreciated about hearing that story, is that there, that plus part. It's about taking things to another level. It's like if not now, when? It's like we're gonna make it happen. It's such an inspiring thing to see, and now you're not just saying it, you're actually doing it. So here we have these characters. So this is more of Danny's artwork. He's the I guess these are his character sketches for the first few characters that are going to be introduced in their Kickstarter graphic novel. So this will be the perfect time to talk about these. So here we have Black Toro, and I kind of didn't want you guys to tell me this because I wanted it to be a reaction that both I and Rick can enjoy in our audience. So
okay, ready. Is this a reaction moment?
This is the reaction moment. They told me there was a great story behind Black Toro and how he came to be because Joey was pushing this. But I'll let the three of you tell the story. So tell us about Black Toro.
Wait. Is this Danny's? Is this when Danny was young and wanted to be a luchador?
Possibly. We're gonna find out. So
stay tuned after this.
So any of you guys, go ahead and take the ball and run with it. Tell us about Black Toro.
This is Joey's least favorite character right here.
Joey hates this guy. Joey cannot stand him. He just like, why again? This guy.
So, but before we start, all of these characters are my favorite characters. But Black Toro kind of accidentally became my favorite. So, just a bit about my backstory before we get into his. My culture is Hispanic, but I'm not from Mexico and Colombia. But I'm not really in tune with that culture. So, whenever we created Black Toro, I knew I wanted a character that was going to be an older character, like a real tough old man. That didn't have any powers. It just relied on his grit teeth to get the job done. And I wanted somebody that was loudmouth, kind of like Spider-Man, but also with Zorro a little bit. So Black Toro here he was once a famous luchador that fell into the allures of greed and money. He was set up by a crime boss, and he served time in jail. While he was in jail, he was inspired by Bronze Man to take that identity that he once shamed himself with and use it to turn up and fight against evil. So that's what his backstory is. But I get to learn a lot about my own culture whenever I'm writing for him because he's based out of Mexico. So as I'm writing him, I'm researching, and I actually recently went to a trip to Mexico, and it was amazing. It was life-changing, an eye-opener, and that's what I hope to bring with this character is just knowledge of a different culture, and also have fun with it.
I'm a huge fan of luchador wrestling. So every time I see a luchador wrestler, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna like this.
Yeah, I totally got it, and I think for some reason I thought there were some possible alternate names that were thrown around. Danny,
yes, I think the way Joey when he got back from Mexico, he was like, yeah, Black Toro is my new guy. He's my guy. So now we're changing the entire universe. It's now the Plus Toro universe, and all the characters are Bronze Toro and Lady Toro. They're all descendants of Black Toro, and
all of like that.
Everything is Toro. It's Enter the Toro-verse. We're doing that.
Wait 10 years, man.
Crisis on Infinite Toros. We're doing that book too. We're gonna do them all. Toros across the board.
Toro, you heard it first.
Black
on Comics, guys.
Soon, guys.
Yeah. And then you're gonna have Guillermo del Toro, who's going to direct
Guillermo
your
del
movie,
Toro.
and
Yeah.
and Quentin Tarantino is going to
The-
change his
the
name to
Toro
Tarantino.
Cinematic Universe.
Yeah, Torotino. Yeah.
Tarantino. And there's
Toro, whatever. Yeah.
all right, so it's going to be the Plus Toro universe. You're exactly right. I think that is such a great story. I did not expect that one. I think it was nice to hear Joey's perspective, and I'm glad that we got that out in the front, because we want people to remember that it's about him learning about his culture and how it's bringing that knowledge and that appreciation into the Plus WACO universe. But then we got the little bit of the comedic side in terms of how it was such a inspiration to him that it fused its way into the other parts of the universe. But I love it. Let's look at some of the other characters here. So we have I don't know if any of you, if Danny, you want to talk a little bit about Lady, is it
Avalion?
Avalion, such a cool name, Avalion. So
yeah. So she is the 99th incarnation of King Arthur and the Knights of the Round. Yeah.
All of the knights at the same time.
All of the knights at the same time.
Wow, that was a happy drunken evening that night.
What are they called? Chimeras. They're chimeras.
Yeah.
She's a multi-chimera.
Uh-huh.
No, she's the 99th.
They went to the back room as well. For sure.
Rick, don't go there.
No, she's the 99th incarnation of King Arthur. She pulled the sword in front of a kind of just despondent Merlin, who was more of a carny at the time. Is that how is that the story, Joseph? Yeah.
Yeah. So the way it was set up was Merlin had the sword and stone set up at a carnival. So as kids would go by and try pulling the stone, he'd eventually find the right one. And so Phoebe, which is Lady Avalion, that's where she pulled the stone at like 9, I think.
Wow, that's a cool story, because I would never associate. I was just looking at Danny's composition here. I mean, there's such an attitude and fluidness. There's nothing. It's a front pose, but there's nothing static about it. It has attitude. There's a nice, her posture is really cool. And I just, you hear this Arthurian legend that you've weaved into it. But then she's carrying a silenced pistol, as well. I think
that's the other part of it. We knew we wanted to do some sort of Arthurian legend, but we also wanted to do some kind of like super spy thing. Yeah. And so we melded them together. We melded the stories together. And while she carries the title of Arthur, it's not really King of England anymore. It's more like the director of the organization. And so everyone who has a title is like a knight or a wizard in this organization, a sorcerer of some sort. And, like they have a board of directors, and it's got like Sir this and Mage that and whatever. And she's the one who is being trained to become the next leader of this organization. But she takes part in daily missions and everything. She has her own little group of knights and everything that she leads out onto the field. A lot of Black Ops stuff and a lot of supernatural incursions that they have to stop and whatnot.
Yeah, I
love this design. The first thing I thought when I saw it was, hey, I want to draw this. I want to paint this.
Yeah,
awesome.
And,
it looks so good. And when you have that in a design, that it makes others want to redo it in their mind or draw it in their style, then you have a good design, in my opinion. And that was the first thing here. You have the best mix of both worlds. You have the knight and the spy all in one, and it looks really good.
Thank you.
Yeah, great fusion of like both mythology and modern day. So I get like this whole, obviously I'm going to like think of like the Avatar, and how they have generations of the Avatar, but you were able to like make it your own. And I just think that's really cool. So let's go ahead and get through these next few characters, because we want to get to the live drawing. I'm enjoying talking to you guys so much. We're pushing 50 minutes yet, and we still need to do some live drawing. But I want to show this. So now we have Bronze Man 1. And then we have Bronze Man 2, which we're going to show after this. So tell us a little bit about Bronze Man, because he's kind of like your flagship character, right?
Yeah, that's right. So the whole Plus universe kind of started with Bronze Man originally as a submission that got rejected, and that's we kind of just made it our own. And we'll get into that later on. But yeah, Bronze Man, you'll see his origin in Plus Universe Alpha. Someone asked, "What are we backing?" It's an 80-page graphic novel, and Bronze Man is also one of the focal points in that book. He is Dios, which is the god of gods. In the book, he's come to a point where he has to split his power into 3 recipients. A bronze, silver, and a gold force were born. Bronze Man right here, he was a fighter pilot that was one of those 3 recipients, and so he held the bronze force. And Bronze Man 2 is actually his grandson. We're going to see him in the book also. And he was bestowed the power by his grandfather.
So we're building legacy characters here.
I was about to say it's all about the legacy in one way or the other, by the sounds of it. Except for Toro, he got his own.
He stays the whole way through. He's like the leader of the generation. He's like their mentor.
Oh, he has his own legacy. What are you talking about?
I was about to say about the others that has gotten a legacy from the grandfathers or Arthur. Toro is building his own.
Yeah, he's the one that's like carrying the torch with him.
Yeah, that's right. And I think that's so neat because I kind of like look at Bronze Man as being that's your Superman, that's your Captain America for the Plus WACO universe, and that the fact that he's generational too, that adds a whole nother thing to it because it's I like the fact that the little bit that you're saying that the power has been split up, and we have bronze, gold, and silver. I was like. It's like the best of. We just talked about Avatar influences. It's like Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. It's like we got everything at the Plus WACO universe, and it's inspired by, but it's new. It's to me, it's like this is it's very hard to say that hey, let's come up with a completely new, fresh idea. The truth of the matter is there are archetypes, there are stories, there are mythologies that are already out there. The trick is to make it kind of like take those archetypes and make them your own. And that's what I'm seeing here. I'm seeing some really unique characters and showing these fresh takes on them. And now, so here we have Bronze Man 2, which is going to be what we're going to do our first live drawing. So this has become a new record. We're 52 minutes into our cast, and we are just doing our first live drawing. But before we get to that, I'm going to give a little bit of a hint. Rick just scrolled down to it here. He showed it, and this is Lawbringer. And we're gonna save, obviously, I'm gonna let Rick and Joey talk about talk in the background.
I'm allowed to talk? Yes.
Yes, you are. I'm giving you permission. I'm gonna allow you guys to talk about it while we're drawing because and to sort of give us more insight into Bronze Man 2 as well as Lawbringer. But this is sort of just a hint of what live drawing number 3 is going to be like. So this is the point where I'm going to say to our guests, whoever is watching here, if they want to join us and draw along, please do. All you need to do is let us know in the comment section that you are drawing, and then just go to the art show, which is our art specific subgroup that's under Comics Cast, and you can post it there. Just let us know in the comments field that you are drawing, so that way we can feature it and share it. And if you have any maybe you can get a little bit of critique. You could possibly be working for Plus WACO because Plus WACO is going to blow up. They're going to need extra artists and inkers, and there's going to be more Toros that are going to be coming out of that universe. So they're definitely going to need that help. So let's get into our first drawing challenge. Rick, show Bronze Man one more time. Bronze Man 2, and here he is. He has the powers of flight. Invulnerability, super strength, enhanced speed, and durability. So let's start our first drawing. I'm gonna put everybody's drawing cams up. So let's.
Yep.
If you could unshare that, yeah, there you go. And Rick is gonna be the notorious timekeeper, so he's gonna let us know where we are with stuff. And I'm gonna do a little bit of shuffling here, so we can get.
15 minutes, 10 minutes.
Yeah, I guess. There we go. All right.
That wasn't an answer, but okay.
Okay. I just want to say
10-15 minutes. Yes. Okay.
Okay. 15 minutes. Give us 15
okay,
minutes.
Cool.
Let's do 15 minutes. And Joey, this is your opportunity to totally go toe to toe with Rick and test his interviewing chops here. Just sort of like tell us a little bit about Bronze Man and why the legacy of Bronze Man 1 and 2 and how they all fit into the universe without spoiling anything, of course.
I don't need to interview you because Thiago just took all the questions out of my mind.
Okay, I'm going to shut up now. I'm going to shut up.
Do you see what I'm working with here, Joey? I'm supposed to be I'm just a pretty face. I'm just sitting here smiling, doing nothing.
I'm sure you practice it, so I'll let you ask it. Go ahead. Go, man.
Okay. So Bronze Man. He to me seems like very 80s, 70s hero inspired. So I am guessing it might that idea might have been come from Armando and Danny, because you probably grew up with some other kind of heroes, or is this actually your idea as well?
Well, actually, you know how we said Bronze Man was the start of everything? It was originally a submission for public domain superheroes. So Bronze Man is actually public domain. He was originally published, I believe, in the 20s, like 1920, almost 100 years. So he only has like 2 or 3 appearances, I think, his entire publication. He was a gentleman named A.C. Hollingsworth. He's since passed, but I decided to use that character because he had such a vague background. Power set was kind of archetypal.
Yeah, for sure.
And so, like, I think his original backstory was he was a pilot, so I kept that. And he went missing, and then he showed up, and he had a grotesque scar, and he wore a bronze, like a bronze helmet. That was what his powers were, and he could fly, and it was never explained. So, I felt that I had a lot of free reign with it. So I went wild. I imagined, like, what kind of powers would I want to have if I was a bronze man? So I got the idea from Greek mythology a lot. I follow a lot of mythology, but with Bronze Man, him and Dios, there's a conflict in the war that's going on in the Plus WACO, in the Plus Universe Alpha that you can see. He's basically just like the headstrong guy. He's the leader. He's the first of the first generation of superheroes. So he's the first and greatest hero that's on Earth, and he's the one that inspired all of the others.
I as I said, it really has this really old school design that I really like a lot, and I didn't know that there were public domain heroes. I've never heard of that, but then again, I am a little out of the loop, being from Denmark, and we on the comics aren't whenever they're really the biggest thing here. We have one comic book shop in the whole country.
Wow, are you serious?
Yeah, that's so we had to really fight to get our comics.
I bet y'all really fight too.
Yeah, tooth and nail, and it was even before the internet, so we could order it. So we had to drop kick people left and right to get our comics.
Yeah, I think Rick has a authentic Viking battle axe in the back of his room there.
You I don't know if you want to get your comics. You have to get your comics. No, so kidding aside, so this is a mask for he's wearing.
No, it's an actual form. So his power. So whenever Dios granted him his essence, it infused a mortal soul with the godly essence. And so in this universe, as gods are worshipped, that worship from the soul becomes power to that god. So they become stronger as they get worshipped, the more followers that they have. So whenever Dio put his essence into 3 pieces and put them into mortals, what he did was make a power source that powered itself. So these characters, the Bronze, Silver, and Gold Force, they're as strong as their belief in themselves. As cheesy as that sounds.
No. I like that because it's also tells the viewer to have faith in yourself, and
exactly. That's one of the main.
And a comic like a movie should have messages like that in it, inspirational, motivational messages like that.
Absolutely.
And I personally love that. And Djawel in particular needs to read that kind of books because he needs all the motivation in the world to get good.
He's also telling me that I have such low self-esteem that I have to like read this comic because that's going to make me feel better. And like I too can be bronze.
You too can. You too can be a bronze player at some point, Gerald.
Right. You know.
So you're mixing a lot of I lost of faith and belief together in and religions. And and you're doing this really deep research, at least with some of the things when it comes to your own heritage. Are you taking it that deep with everything?
Yeah.
Or are you?
I want these because, and I may be wearing a bigger hat than I have on, but what we're doing right now, we're making characters that are going to be left after we die, after we're gone. We're making these characters that are going to be legacy characters. So what I want these characters to be are as real as possible. I want them to feel like they're living and breathing. I want the readers to care about the characters. I want them to care about their well-being. I want them to care about the stresses that they have. Because the Bronze Man right here, I haven't even gotten like one of the main things on him. Even though he's a superhero, he has like 2 full-time jobs. This is a superhero that has to pay bills. Like, this is real life, right?
Uh-huh.
And I deal with a lot of self-doubt, especially whenever I write. I'm how people say like you're your own worst critic. I really am. So that when I write, I kind of like how Danny and Armando get to a finished page and they'll erase the whole thing. I'll get to a finished script and then delete the whole thing, just because I'm telling myself, oh, it's not good enough. But with Bronze Man, it reminds me his power is believing in himself, and that's how he gets his energy. That's how he gets his strength. That's how he can save the day. So if I can do that, then I can get through whatever is ailing me. If I'm not really believing in myself that day, just forget that all it takes is just believing in yourself and you get it done. That's how I started this whole thing with Plus WACO Comics.
So you kind of also made Bronze Man to motivate yourself as it should motivate the others. So I like that you make your characters personal in that sense, and that you made Black Toro personal by giving him a heritage similar to yours in some way at least. And it feels so you're basically the idea maker of most of these, if not all of the characters, and you just pass them over to Armando and Danny and say, hey, draw these and make them look good.
Well, kinda. That's about right. We for the most part, they're like, all right, you give us something and then we'll work with that. There have been a few characters that are just like off the books now, but then there have been a lot of characters that came in that are completely different from the idea that I presented them with. But what's great with working with Danny, Armando, and also our letterer Hector Negrete is that they have such a rich history and such a rich knowledge of comics and lore and mythology that they can take what I give them and make something that's so much better and so much deeper. And then what that does is inspires me to go even deeper to the character. So we have a really good engine when it comes to creating characters.
And what I also think that it's good in your little group here is that you also bring that youthful, new kind of thinking, new ways that the comics have started producing when it comes to new generations. You bring that into the more old school. I'm not calling you old guys. I'm calling old school guys. You mix that to. Shut up, Jerry. I'm talking. You're mixing that together in a really good way so far. By Bronze Man example, you're picking up a really old public domain character and making him valid and working in our day and age. It just shows how willing you are to make everything work right for both new comic book readers and old. And I'm really interested in looking more into that for sure.
Absolutely. We really wanted this to feel like you're reading a comic book for the first time. That we really wanted to push something that was that really inspired us to want to turn the page. This is a culmination of all of our hopes, dreams, fantasies, everything that we wanted to leave the world. This is it. It's really deep. The characters are incredible. I'm really proud of what we're producing here, and I'm pretty sure everyone here is going to be able to find a character, because these characters, their narratives are driven by their emotions, not by outside factors. There's not a meteor coming down on Earth every single day or a giant robot attack every single day. Sometimes it's Bronze Man deciding can he go to work that day, or can he go save the apartment that's on fire? Can he afford to miss that check, or can he live with the guilt of not saving the day and leaving it up to others?
So a little in the same sense that made Spider-Man way back when popular, because it was a young kid with his own problems. In that same sense, and again, you're keeping what first made a lot of fans how they started to be fans, is because they could relate to the people they were looking at, and I do believe that's a really good way forward. Guys, drawing, you got 2 minutes left.
2 minutes.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to follow up. I wanted to give a delightful counterpoint to what Rick was saying about the modern part of it. I actually find that with Joey's description, even though he's young, I actually find that he's drawing on things that are kind of old. Like, I think that that heroes these days, they seem kind of like conflicted. They always seem like they have like some sort of baggage that makes them. It's no longer black and white. Almost, it's just like, oh, they're the anti-hero, or they have some sort of personal baggage that makes them kind of do controversial things. And I think that, with what Joey's describing about Bronze Man, he's not conflicted, right? I mean, I get the impression he knows what's good and what's bad, and he knows what he needs to do. Is that what I'm getting from that? Is that true, Joey? Is that what you're doing with Bronze Man?
We're going to see his story go from him finding that motivation and coming out of that lostness. Whenever we first introduce him, you can kind of see it on the preview pages that we have on our Kickstarter campaign. Whenever he's talking to the scribe, whenever we first introduce him, he's retired. He had a great tragic thing that happened to him as a kid. Whenever he had these powers, he was, as the generational goes, his grandfather was older than he was when we got these powers. So whenever he got them, he acted as if any 15-year-old would with superpowers, He
Right.
make choices. And unfortunately, some of the choices that he made resulted in a lot of people getting hurt, and he has to live with that. And so it's all about coming out of getting through the past, like working from past mistakes, past errors, past judgments, past sins, whatever have you. But things that you just regret about yourself, or decisions that you regret from the past, getting through them and turning them into motivation for the future. That's the story of Bronze Man that we're going to see.
See, Joe, you got to help me with a decision here right now, because I said 2 minutes, but your two main guys here are not completely finished yet, and I really want to see their inking finished. So should we give them like 5 minutes more? I mean,
you're the timekeeper.
Yeah, I'm asking my most prestigious guest here, Gerald. Okay.
Okay, go for it.
I mean,
let's give them 2 more minutes. They look like they're doing pretty good. I can't wait to hear what they're going to talk to each other about. We're so petty and so.
I've never. Normally, I can speak with the artist while they draw, but these are just full on focus, and I love it.
Oh yeah, you should see them. They're in the zone. I could be telling them a story, trying to pitch them a story in the middle of them drawing something, and I get finished, and they ask me, "Huh?" And right away.
Yeah, that sounded good. Now try again while I listen to it. Yeah, I mean, so quick question: who is your all-time favorite hero, yours personally?
Ooh, that is tough.
Black Toro. What are you talking about?
I bring the top questions here.
Kyle Rayner.
Oh, good choice. Because he is exactly like you described yourself, that you like your heroes to be. He struggled with actually being an artist while being a hero at the same time.
That's right.
And they were more focused at many volumes focused on his him trying to handle his everyday life rather than his Green Lantern.
Yeah, and that's crazy. Like. So that story is so interesting to me, like, struggling as an artist, but also, having the responsibility of being a torchbearer for an entire corps of intergalactic space cops. And, you're on Earth trying to draw stuff. And that dynamic to me is interesting. and you're going to see a lot of that stuff in our characters.
Yeah, for sure. I can already see it, and again, I got to put in your age into all this because you're still so young. I can only see a really, as Heidi also says here, really see a bright future if you continue this way with your mind. You can take this a long way for sure. You're really bright-minded.
Yeah, we're in this for the long run. If regardless of what happens with our careers, for me, Danny, and Armando, and Hector, if we get job offers from some of the bigger companies, I'm sure we'll entertain them. But regardless of whatever happens, WACO Comics is here to stay. This is going to be what we're pushing. This is going to be our main focus.
I love that. I love that drive. That's, anyways, pencils down, boys. And Gerald.
And Gerald.
Gerald.
See,
Gerald.
Okay, I'm putting it down. Not
Gerald.
Okay. Why is my screen isolated? We're all, it's all about the guests.
I have been isolated. Joey can attest to this. I've been isolated everywhere. Been isolating all the art, like this, like a professional. Danny. Thank you.
Nobody needs to see Danny stuff.
Thank you.
Needs to see Danny stuff.
Look at that. Look at this.
You're already seeing his pages. You don't need to see Danny's stuff.
Oh. Well, I'll just remove it from the because now. I mean, wow.
So
three completely different versions of the same kind. This is why I love this Let It Out stuff, because it shows how different a hero like Bronze Man, as quote unquote simple hero like Bronze Man, can be seen by different artists. But you still manage to show exactly what he's meant to be. You see the power, you see the feel of invulnerability in all of them, and I like it. Diablos is third place.
It's like meh. But you know what? I don't mind that, because I'm looking at your guys' art. My gosh, you're already in the inking stage, and I already knew that from Armando. He's just super fast, and Danny living up to that those sequentials that we saw too. I mean, he talked about banging out those 5 pages like for DC fandom. I think was like in a matter of days, and so I'm already seeing all that here, and I just love the perspectives, and I was a little bit wanting to like listen and then watch you guys draw. That's always the danger of me doing these things, because I don't want to like draw. I just want to watch you guys draw. But just phenomenal artwork. Do you want to isolate them individually? Let's look at them really close. Rick, yeah. So this Armando is just very fluid. Whenever I think of his artwork, it flows. It just has like a nice organic feel to it.
And also like you made him look slimmer than his design build, like more like a Flash or a Green Lantern, Hal Jordan kind of build, like physically, rather than the more Superman heroic feel to it. I really like that.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Let's check out Danny's real quick. And this is like, he's ready to do some business right here. He's gonna do some. He's gonna transaction of some justice. I just really like.
He just finished beating up some criminals.
Yeah. So, this is great. It's always a kick to see what's being done by my guests, and just seeing. And then here we have mine. I think I juiced him up too much. I think I made him a little bit too big, but. Again, it was fun. I love the story of Bronze Man, and it's going to be a treat to see where you guys are going to take it. So this is where we get to Rick's favorite part of the show. This is what we refer to as the live.
No, I mean.
oh, is that what it is? It is.
No.
We call this the live drawing challenge number 2, which is called the Rick Challenge, until we get a better name for it.
Both of you have seen previous shows, right? I can see Armando; he's already excited. Look at him; yeah. But Joey, I need you to just think of a character in your head. Don't say it out loud yet. It should be a well-known.
It's a card trick.
a well-known, just a semi-well-known character. He can be she can be a hero, villain, whatever. Just semi-well-known, okay? Because you spoke about fusions earlier.
Mm.
I could hear it. So here's my challenge. For the we got 20 minutes of this drawing. So the first 10 minutes, you will be drawing a hero of my choice, and then when the 10 minutes are gone, you will be drawing whatever your hero Joey has come up with.
Like there'll be two characters, or like
no,
top and bottom.
Fused together, like mesh. Like a generic mashup.
like composite Superman.
Yeah. You have them fused together like a mashup of two into one, but you only get told what the last one is when the first 10 minutes are over.
So
okay, so like
we have to incorporate it into the design. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, it's the overall design, or is it like the top half is Joey, the bottom half is Rick?
No. Do you not know what a mashup is?
That is a mashup to me.
Yeah, well, you're disqualified.
Oh, okay, I get to watch. That's okay with me.
So
Okay.
Joey, do you have a good one? Like on a what scale? Like a medium.
I don't think you guys are even thinking of this character at all.
Okay.
Not even
so I'm gonna start out easy with the guy with all of you, and just say that for the first 10 minutes the character is going to be Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman. Okay.
All
right.
I like Joey's reaction to that one.
All right, Wonder Woman. Okay.
So Joe, let's speak a little more about Black Toro here, because as I said, I myself is a luchador fan. Have you been watching luchador wrestling?
I was into wrestling as a kid. I didn't really follow it too much, after like my teenage years. But when I was a young kid, there was a WWE event here in Waco. Like I thought that was just the craziest thing.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
nice.
It was pretty cool, and it was really exciting. I had a lot of fun. I myself am not really loud and outspoken as I want to be, but with Black.
No, you outspoken? No.
Oh man, but with Black Toro, he is, and I get to explore a lot of that and kind of express those emotions and kind of live vicariously through him.
I love. Sorry for cutting you off, but I love luchador and all the heritage and respect and honor that's in the wrestling, and what it means for people, and the meaning behind the mask. They actually have a long history, most likely, and many of the wrestlers has actually taken the mask from the father and grandfather and passed it on.
Mm-hmm.
And what it means to them, that some of these wrestlers are never seen with the masks off, even in public. That's how deep it goes into them. It's both spiritual and it's basically more than just lifestyle for them.
Yeah.
And I like that aspect. And if you also do that with a vigilante, that could really make for some really great story.
Yeah. So I actually honestly played on the mask. I don't want to think it's religion to luchadors almost, because you're right. It's something very sacred to him. So with Black Toro, he in essence took off the mask whenever he fell into the allures of greed and money and that other lifestyle. And so whenever he was in prison, he realized, he really did a dishonor to that name. That name, that mask, Black Toro. That's such a sacred thing, and he dishonored it. So whenever he comes back and he decides to become a vigilante with it, he puts that mask back on and becomes Black Toro once again to clean his name and to really put out the mission. Similar to Bronze Man, that regardless of your past, you can atone for past sins. You can move forward with things. You can become a better person regardless of the things that you have done before. To an extent.
I just like your stories. You mean the overall basics of all of the character, or the overall foundations of all the characters in themselves are so really, really basic. But then you build you built so much great upon them that makes them so special. I'm excited, and I've actually already put in some money on this one because I want to be part of it. I want to have it at my home. So I already backed you.
Oh, thanks, man. It's pretty awesome.
So I will also again go back to Lady Avalon. You spoke. You took the whole idea of the English part away from her. What the decision of that? Because King Arthur and England is basically the one thing, so to speak. So what made you to do that decision? And do you fear that maybe people will be poking you on that? Because there's a lot of critics out there after all.
Oh yeah, and that was honestly, and we fixed that. In the first iteration of her, she was I think I had her out of Louisiana, and that made no sense. I think her name was horrible, dude. I think it was Sword Woman or something like that. Oh, she's got a sword. It's a woman, Sword Woman, right?
Her first name, the very first name that Joey came up with was like Sword Lady or something like that. I'm like, are you serious right now? Are you kidding me? I almost threw it in his face, like, get out of here.
You're fired. You're fired.
You're fired. Yeah, leave. What are you doing?
But we fixed that. So she is based out of London, England. So she is based over there.
Yeah, she is British.
Okay.
She is British. She is pure British because that's also part of the lore that they have, that Arthur is British, not.
He's basically Britain incarnated, like,
yeah,
according to the stories.
Right.
Well, that's good. That's good. As a European, I like that you're not just taking one of the few heroes Europe has.
We're American, but we're not that American.
Okay. Okay.
Another thing for the Plus universe, I think one of the original the pitches I made.
What about Blade Winch? Bouncer 620 on YouTube asked, "What about Blade Winch?"
Oh,
Blade Winch.
That could be a name.
Blade Winch. Don't give him any ideas, please. Don't give him any ideas.
Ideas.
I mean, there is a swordsman in Avengers after all. So.
Yeah, the swordsman. Yeah.
But no, with the Plus universe, there's a lot of mythology and lore around the world that really inspired us to infuse a lot of our inspirations from comics and anime, superhero TV shows, things like that, and really try to find a way for the mythologies of the world to be their own superheroes and lift them up. So we're going to see a lot of inspirations around the world. So it's really cool.
If you ever need help with some Nordic mythology inspirations, I'm your guy.
Yeah, for sure, absolutely. I'm getting some local help in getting conceptualized for Thunder Stallion. She's a Native American character.
Thunder Stallion. Oh, sorry, that sounded fun because the first thing I thought of was Thunder Lips from Rocky, like the Hulk Hogan character.
The Hulk Hogan character.
Yeah. Okay. So we are about 20 now. The 10 minutes about up. So Joey, are you ready to say your character?
Yeah, and I'm sorry, y'all.
Go ahead.
Oh, we still got time, right? We have a little bit more time, right? You said it's about done, right?
No, Joey says it now.
Oh, okay. All right. Go ahead and tell us.
All right. It was Darkwing Duck.
Yes.
What?
Yes, I would love to see this. I would love to see how you mix Wonder Woman with Darkwing Duck.
Darkwing Duck.
I actually had a feeling you were gonna say something more cartoony like. So I thought about, hey, I should have said Batman, but then again, Batman and Darkwing Duck is too alike.
Yeah.
So
all right.
This just Wonder Woman and Darkwing Duck.
There we go. Darkwing
So
Duck
10 more minutes, guys.
Jesus Christ.
Like as soon as you said pick a character, that was the first one I thought of, and then you said Wonder Woman. I should change it, but that's not.
I'm glad you didn't. Just didn't decide on the fly. So I need to ask the our three guests here. You all three know who Freakazoid is, right?
Oh,
Yes.
Here we go.
You all know who Freakazoid
Yes.
is. Joey looks a little lost.
Yes.
Do you know? Freakazoid.
Oh yeah, my bad. Freakazoid. Yeah, I've seen the show.
See, Gerald? Everybody knows who Freakazoid is except you.
Oh,
Except me.
Gerald, don't tell me, bud.
I know.
No.
I know. I
I
think
made
had
I had a simple challenge, for just for reference. I had a simple challenge where I just had to name a character, and I said Freakazoid, and Gerald was completely lost. Do you still have the piece of your
I
Freakazoid?
do, but it's like been banished to like the recesses of my sketchbook.
That's a shame. That's a
So,
shame.
we'll have to show it again another time for another day.
Oh, look
but,
look at Danny going all starting already just as soon as he heard Darkwing Duck. Yeah,
Ooh, that's cool.
and Armando here as well. He's going all in with a beak as well.
So were you Joe, are you a big fan of like Disney Darkwing Duck cartoons and things like that? Was it why did that pop into your head? Like why was it the first thing? Did you happen to be watching an episode earlier this evening or this morning?
No, I didn't want to.
That's how he always wakes up. He eats his cereal, his Kellogg's Frosties.
I'm sure you guys have already had like, oh, do Superman and Wolverine or something like that. So I just thought of something different. But to answer your question, yeah, I am. I grew up on a lot of Saturday morning cartoons, after school programs back whenever like Fox Kids was a thing. So I grew up watching, Captain Planet, anime, Freakazoid, Darkwing Duck, the anime or Looney Tunes, stuff like that. On top of all the superhero cartoons.
Wait, now I have to ask, how old are you? Because we've pretty much grew up with the same things. Maybe I just continued watched it.
I'm a younger guy. I turned 26 in August.
Oh, okay, no worries then. I can still make fun of your age then.
My dad is a little bit older. My dad's gonna turn 70 in December, so that's awesome. But he raised me up on a lot of old music, a lot of old cartoons, a lot of old movies. So while all my friends were like listening to Lil Wayne, I was over there listening to Jimi Hendrix and listening to.
That's a good dad right there.
Yeah, he's pretty awesome. He's actually the one that got me into comics. He took me to the bookstore over here in Waco.
And look at you now, man. You're starting your own thing. Well, with a little help from a few friends, right?
Oh, little. I couldn't even take the credit if I tried.
Yeah. But
how much time do we have, Rick? I just want to make sure that I can.
You have 2 minutes. The rest have 5.
Okay, there we go.
No, you all have 5 minutes. So, any question from the viewers right now? I see we at least have 12 viewers right now, and people are just coming in here with the hat looks like Carmen Sandiego. Are you referring to Danny's hat, right? Yeah, Carmen Sandiego. Yeah, I kind of see it.
Man, you totally threw me for a loop. I have.
Oh, thank you, Julius. Thank you. Get to the job. I thought we were listening to Arnold Schwarzenegger for most of the time until I could see the guy. Well, thank you. I mean, I could have been called worse, right? Yeah, I think Blade wins. We've heard everybody's just, and it seems like you have your own little fangirl squad as well. Rebecca Hurtado earlier on is really into you, and she seems she wants to write as well. It's good having all of you guys. Thank you for showing up, and give these guys some love in their Kickstarter as well. You can see the links here, and they will. I think they'll appreciate the love for sure.
Yeah, absolutely, man. We're almost to our second stretch goal. That's pretty cool.
And you deserve it, in my opinion. I do not do the the searching of which people to take in. So every time Gerald says, "I got some new people for you," I'm like, "Oh, here we go." But he always ends
What are
up
you
going,
saying? What are you saying?
I'm saying usually got bad taste, but
Uh,
usually when it comes to artists and storytellers, I'm always taken back how good and especially how fast they are. I mean, look at Danny, look at Armando here, and well, I guess Gerald could be looked at as well when it comes to speeding. They're just so fast. I could never do
and
anything
you know what?
like
And
in
this
the
is going to be
speed.
Rick's last show.
His
Just kidding.
goodbye show.
It was nice knowing you, Rick. Just kidding.
He can't get rid of me. I'm too important.
Yeah, yes, very important.
So can you say anything, Joe, a little about future plans you guys think about without spoiling too much?
Yeah, absolutely.
So like things to look forward to.
Absolutely, man. I'm sure Dan and Armando can tell you a bit, but before they do, this book right here is the launching point for 6 different titles featuring characters that are introduced here. We already have it planned out. We already have, and these 6 different titles aren't going to be ongoing. They are 6 different 6-issue self-contained seasons, if you will. We're going to have Danny and Armando are both helming 3 each, so we're going to get into how we're going to do all that and when we're going to do all that later on. But over the next 4 years, those 6 series are going to be coming out.
That's like, so I like that you already have a. Did you have this plan already before you were actually funded with this Kickstarter?
Yeah, Danny is the one responsible for that. So we really acted professional, man. We since we're local to each other, before COVID hit, we were able to meet up on a regular basis and just talk, go back and forth about these characters, about these ideas. The Plus universe was Danny's idea. Danny said, "Hey, if we're gonna make a comic, we're instead of working backwards by introducing one character at a time, introduce a graphic novel that introduces all of them, and then we'll focus on individual stories from there." So if we didn't have those meetings, we wouldn't have all these characters right here.
I like the whole idea of just dropping the viewer into something that could easily have been in the middle of a story.
Yeah.
And then have them work it out themselves, of course, with your help. I really like that idea because you instantly capture. I mean, I'm personally tired of seeing a Spider-Man origin story, as an example, especially when it comes to the movies. So the whole idea of just be dropped in and then slowly guided along that's a good way to do it. I mean, my all-time favorite superhero comic book, Invincible, kind of did the same.
Yeah.
Absolutely great writing there as well. I can see some similarities with the ideas and setup and all that, and it just helps me makes me more excited for what you guys got going.
Absolutely.
But with that being said, it is pencils down.
What? Oh man, I didn't have enough time.
Well,
did not have enough time.
It's funny. It's always your guests that puts the pencils down first. You're supposed to be the host.
I think you should like highlight their work first. Go ahead and do that right now. That's your job. That's your job.
Stop. Gerald, stop.
Highlight their work. You heard what I said.
Stop. I'll highlight the work.
Okay, here we
Just
go.
look at this. Look at this.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I need to, like Joey. This is beyond what I would have imagined with this mix.
That looks phenomenal. That looks great.
Wow.
Not what I've expected, and it's just.
I mean, with this mix, I didn't expect. When I heard the mix from Joe, I didn't expect much. I expected to see some funny stuff, but this is really good, Mando.
So here we got like some responses. We got David Ramirez saying, "Way to go, Mando."
I also like Danny's. Danny was lucky enough to like he hadn't really gotten the costume 100% in yet when we changed, so he was a little bit lucky with how he could, and then he decided, oh, I just see you put in the W here in the Wonder Woman alongside the. Wow, that's good thinking.
That looks really cool.
Yeah,
I wish that I had thought of that. I was just like, really. I feel like,
and here we got Howard the dog cosplaying as Wonder Woman.
I was thinking the same thing. I was like, what do I do? And the only thing I could think of was like, I gotta like change her face now because I had this nice pretty face that I'd start out with, and I just gotta put a duckbill on it. And yeah, it ended up being a mess, but it was totally at the expense of Gerald's pride here. I think that yeah, it's basically Wonder Woman cosplaying as Darkwing Duck. That's probably the best way to describe it. So I'm falling flat a little bit with some of these drawings, but it doesn't matter because it's not about my art; it's about their art. So, Danny, Armando, this is phenomenal work. I just love it, love it. Great work,
really good job, guys, and good choice, Joey. I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, I think Freakazoid was a new low for me. I think
I saw Armando's face for a second when you said Darkwing Dog. First it was a shock, and then it was, oh, I'm gonna kill that guy, and then he just started.
yeah. I think that's really cool to see the interpretation.
When he said something about, oh, you guys are gonna hate me, I was like, this dude's coming up with real monsters or something, and I just know it.
Yeah, I
think gonna throw some Ed and Eddie in there, like really.
Some Cartoon Network.
Yeah. I thought there was gonna be a wrestling angle, like there might be some luchador that I'd never heard of, and I or maybe another Black Toro. It could have been something that could have been thrown in there. It's Wonder Woman Toro, yeah, or Wonder Toro.
Wonder Toro.
Wonder Toro. Exactly.
Wonder Toro. Or to make it even worse, Toro Woman. Seeing how Joey has made no ideas.
Yeah,
Lady Toro.
Like Joey's writing this down. He's like going, okay.
Toro Woman.
Yeah, Toro Woman.
They'll fire you, Joey. They'll fire you.
Note to self.
Yeah, it's
Toro Woman.
Yeah, Joey's like, you can't fire me. I'm partner. So it's like, but here we go.
Hey, Rob Liefeld got fired.
Oh.
There's always that possibility.
Yeah.
Are you old enough to know who Rob Liefeld was, Joey?
Oh, come on, Nick.
Yeah, man, who he is.
Okay, good.
All right. So, laughing aside, I am having such a good time. These were great. Our first two, drawing challenges were great. We're going to be rounding out. We're approaching. We're actually doing pretty good. It's an hour and a half just into our show, and it doesn't even feel that way. But we're going to go into our last drawing challenge, which is Rick. You want to pull up?
I was doing so. Okay. Yes. Hello.
Oh, you're such a professional. You're supposed to have it ready to go. Here we go. All right, we got Lawbringer, and I think this is. I want our audience to soak this in.
Lawman.
Yeah, Lawbringer here. He's gonna bring in the law. So definitely have some. I have some impressions by seeing this, but this is where I'm not gonna say anything. This is where Rick is going to do the interview part of this part, of the show. So we're gonna do our third live drawing, which is gonna be the Lawbringer, and Armando. Yeah, Armando and Danny and I will take a
hang on. Yeah, just so I have the perfect timing. Just keep talking a little bit more, Jero. Like 15 seconds more. Okay, I stumped him. So let's say 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right.
Go. 15 minutes.
All right.
So tell me, Joey. Now it's just the two of us. Once more.
Just the two.
Who is Lawbringer? I'm guessing he's one of the heroes.
That's right. Well, that's a question, huh?
Ooh.
Yeah,
The mystery deepens.
So Lawbringer, obviously from his image, he is is very inspired by Tokusatsu, Super Sentai,
yeah.
classic game like Gotcha Man, Kashan. He is a space sheriff. He is one of the 7 Knights of Nihilus. Nihilus is the god of law and order in this universe. Nihilus, so in a way, Dios is the predecessor of the Bronze Man and the other forces. Nihilus would be the predecessor of Lawbringer here. So we're really playing with the lines of like what is good, what is evil, what is right, what is wrong. Lawbringer is just that, law and order. So Nihilus and Dios have a real big conflict that's going to play out here in Plus Universe Alpha that you can read in the book. And he has these soldiers, and these soldiers are these Lawbringers, and these Lawbringers have these gems on the back of their hands that are a mix of godly power, they're a mix of magic, and they're a mix of technology. And what they do is they open up this portal to these other dimensions, this little pocket dimension where they house their weapons, where they house their gear, where they house all these other things. And it's really, really cool the way they can play out. We really wanted to make something that could be fun and we could explore different worlds and have an adventure as we read along. So Lawbringer is that character that we get to explore the universe with.
So he's the cosmic angle of
right.
Plus. Ah, gotcha.
Every proper superhero universe got to have a cosmic angle. So is the saying that where's your cowboy hero?
Lawbringer.
No, where's
hero? That would be in the Luchador story, because that's set in the West and in Mexico.
That's right.
Well, if you have to like bring all the usual hero genres, then there has to be a cowboy hero as well. After all,
yeah. Well,
don't just call him Cowboy Man.
No, hey. No, with Black Toro, the way I'm writing it, I'm really looking through a lot of old Western films and trying to get and capture the emotion of of how they film it. The big pop moments, the big wow factors that are in Westerns. And so with Black Toro, I'm really writing it with the angle of it being a Western. So.
Have you read the Dark Tower comics?
The who's Dark Tower?
Yeah.
No, but I've read the book, the Stephen King one.
Yeah, the comics try to portray that cowboy movie feel as well. If you ever need like more reference and ideas for it, I'd recommend that one.
Absolutely, I'll check it out. I read the books. I'm a big fan of Stephen King's.
Yeah, I think he's all right. I know that he's a really great writer. It's just his style isn't mine. So, anyways, I'm not here to talk down about all other people's writers or anything. I'm here to try and help. So he's the main lawbringer. The first thing I thought of was Nova Corps from Marvel or Green Lanterns from DC.
Yeah, absolutely. He definitely has that space cop, space poor vibe to him, and that's one of the directions that we wanted to go with.
Right now, just from my count, you at least have 4 backers just from this whole thing. Robert Behel just backed it.
Man, that's awesome.
Awesome, yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yes, thank you very much.
Thanks.
With Lawbringer, he is so like I said, there's 7 different ones. This Lawbringer right here is actually from Earth. He's a 17-year-old kid that's like a grease monkey. He works and lives in a family
grease monkey?
salvage yard. Somebody that works on cars, works on engines.
Oh, okay.
Is usually covered in grease. Good with wrenches, good with their hands.
Yeah, that makes sense. The name just didn't really ring any bells for me for a second there.
Oh no, it's okay, man. It's his character is all about adventure, just from the core of it. His character's name is Jason, and he's lived a very sheltered life. He doesn't live in a giant town. It's a little bit of small rural area. one of those towns where everybody knows everybody's secrets. And so he really wants to get out of that. He wants to become more, and it's really about leaving with more than what you were. You know, you don't have to settle for what you're born as. You can work your way up. You can do other things. And so his story, whenever he gets these gems, he's tasked with doing just that. And it's exploring the entire galaxy, entire universe. But he has an immense job and responsibility holding up with the Knights of Nihilus.
I like the whole motivational thing you put in all your heroes in one way or the other, and it's really good, and it helps you really love the hero, get to know the hero and relate to the hero. You say he lives in a town where everybody knows everybody's secrets, and my first thought when you said that was, well, now I want to know how the hell he's gonna keep this one a secret, right? Living in a city like that can only be interesting.
Yeah, so we get to find out a lot of things. We get to find out, how he's going to do that. We get to find out if someone's done it before. We get to find out if he's just going to up and leave Earth. We don't know yet. So we'll find out. You're going to get to see a preview of it, thankfully, because we reached our first stretch goal. And in that is going to be 5 preview pages from Armando, because Lawbringer is going to be the first of the 6 series that we have coming out. And Armando is going to be helming that one.
So let me understand it right. You get 6 series issues, series titles are coming out.
That's right.
Danny is gonna work on 3 of them.
That's right.
And Armando is So when do you guys plan to sleep?
We don't.
7 years. We'll be all right. After we get a couple of deals, we might take a nap.
Take power naps here and there, because that just sounds insane. Have you considered it? How insane that sounds?
Yeah, Danny.
Yes.
Consider it.
Yeah. yeah.
Oh, I heard the judging in Joey's voice as well, because he's also gonna be hit by it and stay up. Do you hear it, Danny? Yeah. No, I just want to sleep.
What's funny about it, man, is that every single time we come up with a project, Danny is the one that makes it longer. Because this book right here, this graphic novel we have, was originally supposed to be a 24-page issue. So that's what I wrote him a 24-page book. He comes back to me, we need this to breathe more. Like, all right, cool, I get it. You want to make the book longer? Let's make it longer. Let's double it. All right, cool. So we made it 48 pages, right? So I give him that, and then he can probably tell you the rest from there, man.
So he gives me that. And I start reading through the script, and I'm like, okay, this has a lot of good action scenes, but you're compressing them way too much. We need to expand these action scenes. They need to be like double-page spreads. So I'm going to go through here and find which pages should be double-page spreads, and that 48-page book suddenly grows to like a 57-page book because of my insistence that we do really big action scenes. And then as I'm reading through it again, I'm doing all my thumbnails and whatnot. And I'm reading through it and I'm like, man, okay, so we have one really quick scene where there's conflict resolution really, really fast. I'm like, Joey, we can't have this happen twice in the book because people are going to be like, hey, you're kind of shortchanging. Well, that's how I would feel, anyways. So I told him we're gonna need to expand one of these conflict resolutions and possibly make the second one longer. And he's like, okay, cool. So then he takes it, and I'm thinking, 3-4 pages of extra script and story, and it'll be great. And I'm waiting for it. And while I'm waiting for it, I'm doing the rest of the book. And finally, Joey's like, all right, I got your conflict resolution right here. He sends me 16 extra pages of story. I'm like, oh, what in the hell? But I take it and I read through it, and I'm like, I also do some of the editing on the stories.
There's all editing.
Yeah, I do all the editing. But I take it and I'm like, okay, this is gonna work. We can still make this work. And I edit it down to only 13 pages, but it's so good, the stuff that he's written, that I didn't want to cut any of it, but it needed to be brought down just a bit.
Mm-hmm.
But I basically made myself all the extra work.
I guess you got it. That's a lesson about sometimes you don't. It was like
Joe,
you don't want what?
Joey, did you do this this with Danny just to get back at him for telling you to write it over?
No, man, like, because like I said, I'm a bit newer into being a creative. So whenever I have Danny or Armando or even Hector give me input, I'm all ears. So if they think it needs to be better or changed in any way, shape, or form, I'm gonna do whatever I can to the table to bring it closer to whatever vision they have of it being the best it can possibly be whenever somebody opens up read it. Like Danny said, I'd feel shortchanged if it was so short. We're making this book with us in mind. We want to enjoy this book first before anyone else. We are truly fans of what we're making here. And so we just want to make sure we have the absolutely best product. That's not even the last part of it. Whenever we had said that we're going to have 6 different titles come out, it was originally supposed to be 4. And then guess who made it longer?
Danny?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about.
How does it feel to sit there in the middle, Armando, between these two?
Dude, it's refreshing because like
all you have to do is draw.
Yeah, like
and they can fight between each other.
Yeah, the two creatives. No, I mean it's actually easy because me and Danny, we kind of have the same taste in stuff as far as the comics that we read, the creators that we like, and stuff like that. So it's not really hard for us to like come to an agreement on like, hey, how does this character look, or let's change this up for the most part. But yeah, it's pretty good. I feel very fortunate to be around really good two guys that definitely want to make some cool stuff. So
that's awesome. It's always awesome when you find like-minded people like that.
Yeah,
and to think you find them in the same little small city in Texas, was it?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Armando says that now.
What's the chances of that, really?
Yeah.
But then, go on. Go on, Carol.
Armando says that right now until he gets a 16-page addition to the Lawbringer storyline to do conflict resolution.
Tell him, Mondo. Tell him how many versions of the script have you gone through,
bro?
that Joey has sent you, and then Joey's like, you know what? I got a new one.
So exactly. Yeah. So I definitely started like when we got these. I started like doing like little thumbnails. He's like, hey, I got this one right here. I got this, and I was like, oh man. So now I definitely wanted to make sure that we actually had something before I kind of started planning it. But yeah, for sure. We went through quite a few, and first it was what was it, Sword Guardian?
Yeah, Galactic Sword Guardian.
Intergalactic Sword Guardian.
Yeah, I'm horrible at names, y'all.
Yeah.
Oh, really? I couldn't tell.
But yeah, man, that was that was fun. But yeah, it's great working with Joey. I mean, he's the good thing about it, he's very open to our suggestions, and he takes it and he'll come back. But it's really easy also because a lot, like Danny said, a lot of the stuff that he has is great already. So I mean, it's not too hard to.
I mean, the basics of it all is you just want to make comic book, make a heroic comic book, right?
Yeah,
and
exactly.
If you got those basic fundamentals shaped up together, aligned, then it becomes easier to find things that you like.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I have to admit, Joey, I've met and seen a lot of guys, writers and people, creative people come and go, but from one with a drive like you, in such a young age, and you still have been able to go through what you've gone through with your almost Olympic career and all that, and then come through here and being this creative and being this driven. It's really remarkable, and I really hope for you. You keep it going, and you keep it fired up beneath you, because you can get somewhere. You will get somewhere if you keep it up like this. I'm just wow. It took me almost 20 years to get to where I am with my drive and creativity, and I'm not even as driven as you are.
Yeah, we're gonna make it some way, shape, or form, but we're gonna make it.
And that just makes me want to back you even more. Now, really, when I sit here and I interview people, I can easily hear when the people are driven and they want more out of it, right? And I'm not so inclined to want to back them, because okay, so you're just relying on this Kickstarter only. But you guys are not. You guys are like, whether this Kickstarter worked or did not, fuck that. You're gonna plow through with your idea, and at some point, it's gotta work. And I really respect that from an artist to artist.
Yeah, absolutely, man. The biggest deal is, other people have done it before us. And then kind of playing back into plus WACO plus us. There is no reason why we can't do it too. All these rejection letters, everything that we got is just fuel to our fire to get better.
And I definitely think the biggest, coolest thing to remember is like, rejection is not bad. The fact that we were getting a lot of rejections, we're not, we're not bitter at any of the companies, anything like that. We just, we had to make a decision. Like, do we want to keep creating, or do we want to get stuck in this, kind of zone of being, facing this rejection and stuff. And so, we took that with a grain of salt and definitely ran with it.
I mean, that is what makes you strong, rejection, after all. I don't know what the saying actually is, but it's something with even through the hottest flames, iron is shaped, or something like that.
Yeah.
So like, you have to go through a lot in order to grow a lot.
That's right.
And you're actually already like 5 minutes, been given 5 minutes more time than I first said, because me and Joey was just sat here having a good time.
So what does that mean? Pencils down now, or are you going to give us a little bit more time?
I mean, the others are done by the looks of it. You're the only one struggling on.
Wait, why are you?
Look,
you're isolating me again. Oh.
Yeah, I've been isolating all three of you.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
And Danny and Armando was just sat there the last 1 minute.
Okay.
Or 1 minute or two doing nothing.
I'm putting my pencils down then. So look at that.
So let's take Danny's first. This is just. It has a Kamen Rider feel to me for some reason.
Yeah, absolutely. We definitely played in on that. My favorite aesthetic of this is how how his brim on his helmet almost gives it that look that it's a cowboy hat.
Yeah, I like that. I actually like that.
Yeah, it really keeps the Space Sheriff vibe forward. I love it.
Very, very cool. Jeez.
I like the gritty. I like the gritty work you put into this compared to your last one, Manu. It's more gritty and more artistic, and I really love it.
I definitely wanted to kind of put more into it since I'm going to be doing the preview.
I can imagine. See,
I don't want people revoking their backing status. Like, I'm not going to get this.
To be honest, seeing that I now know a little more about how you do your coloring, just adding the purple and red for this would be amazing.
Oh man. So we got like Roy here saying, love them effects. Just really, I can't agree more. Oh, I guess I got to put mine in frame. So here's I had no idea he had a pistol, and like, it looks like he had is it a staff or a sword?
Sword.
Sword, yeah. So that looked really cool. It's like, I wish I had known that. I remember looking at your character sheets, and he had those power power stones or gems that are on the backs of his hands. But I did notice he has those pouches on his hips, so I didn't know. I guess maybe that's where. Oh, you were saying that he can like pull his weapons from like a dimension, right? Like his weaponry can be.
So the gems on the back of his hands. If you notice, you'll see there's like a little halo effect where Armando drew the sword. So the swords aren't like they're not like lightsabers, not like traditional swords. The blades are actually emitted out of that gem, so it opens up a small pocket dimension, and then the sword is produced. So
man,
that was all Danny's idea, that was really awesome.
And that's so cool because Armando and some of his fan art, he had shown like this picture of Rom Space Knight, and I was a big fan of Rom.
So excited!
Yeah,
see the interiors of Lawbringer just because of that. I was excited.
Yeah, because we talked about the cosmic angle, and to me, growing up, when I was a wee child, just like you, Joey, I was a big fan of
years ago.
Oh yeah, I was a big fan of Rom Space Knight, and he had the same thing. Is that he didn't have holsters for his weapons. He pulled his neutralizer or the analyzer, from like a pocket dimension, and it was the same dimension that he could banish the wraiths to. And I think that's so cool to have that aspect of him. He doesn't have to carry all of his weapons. He can just pull the weapons from this pocket dimension.
Weapons. There's like little gadgets too. Like he has this thing called a capture card that he can create. Like he does little things with his hands and it pops out. You can throw that and it kind of captures the villains. Like that's his like handcuffs in a sense. So it's pretty cool.
All right, Armando, I can't wait to see your interpretation of these intergalactic cosmic handcuffs and pocket dimensions. So we'll have to see how that turns out. But yeah, he
already started with the coloring. I love that.
I know. I think if you gave them 5 more minutes, it probably would have been production ready to go. For me, somebody made some comment about that Gerald doesn't do inks. Yeah, that's pretty much true. Gerald will not be doing inks. But that's testament to these guys' skills. Is that we got a writer who's constantly thinking, coming up with these new stories and adding 64 pages to all of his creations. And then we have Armando and Danny here who are banging out like these phenomenal art pieces, and that's so awesome. I mean, I think
they all have equally have all the natural talent to make this succeed, because it's just I'm not just speaking to praise you to sell what you guys do. I'm usually honest, and you guys are impressive in your mindset and everything, and motivation and desire. I'm gonna keep my eyes on you guys, whether you like it or not. I'm gonna keep my eyes on you.
That sounds like
a little more, mostly you, Mando.
Yeah, you're gonna look out the window. You're gonna look out your window, and you're gonna see like Rick like peering out there. Don't be afraid. It's just that. Yeah,
it's just Rick.
Yeah, Rick is this. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, that was kind of when we launched this. We definitely wanted to the main focus be on the book and our passion for storytelling. We didn't want to rely on like a lot of advertising or a lot of different variant covers, or not saying that those aren't cool, but we wanted readers to really focus in on the artwork, on the stories, the characters. That way, that was the main focus, and I think we did a really good job.
Who farted? That was Danny. Wow.
I was moving the chair. Excuse me. Pardon me.
And Armando was in this deep thought, and then it was the first. But okay, so I think that we got the chance to show our audience just what a phenomenal team this is. I mean, we got to hear about where they came from, how they got together, where the creation of this Plus universe is, and we got to see these signature characters and get to hear a little bit about each one of them. So I think I heard Rick say that there was at least 4 people in the comments that decided, based on just you guys talking and showing your stuff, they backed you.
3 people and me.
Oh, okay, that's 4. You're somebody.
Yeah.
You're somebody.
Yeah.
Rick. I believe in you.
We're couple of backers away from hitting our second stretch goal. So that's awesome. Thank you. That's really cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Really good. That's really good. You guys deserve you. Yeah, I can keep praising you, but I don't wanna.
Okay.
I've been praising
All
you
right,
for
all right, all right.
I've been praising you for 2 hours now. Enough's enough.
That's the Denmark humor coming through. It's like, I'm done praising you. That's all I'm going to do.
Enough.
But enough. He's reached his limit. But Rick, I'd like to go ahead and show the Kickstarter, which is at 32,000 already. So let's show that Kickstarter page one more time. And
yes, ma'am.
I'm gonna let you guys just talk about this. So as we're looking at this,
just update here and see if it changes. Oh, 87 baggers now.
Yeah. And this is what I wanted to. We talked about this in the pre-show earlier. It's not that you guys are funded, which you are. You're 100% funded, but 87 backers, and that goes to show that I've seen other Kickstarters where they've had these lofty goals. Maybe it's like 15K or something like that, or 20K, and maybe they went beyond that. But then they don't have like really a huge number of backers, and sometimes that's a little bit revealing. It means that maybe they're close family members, and maybe they had really expensive tiers, and that's why it got to their goals really fast. You guys are earning, those 87 backers. I mean, heck, you earned 4 on this show right now, and and they're not family members unless
Look
Rick.
at that face. Look at the face on the cat. Look at it. Oh, I love it. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Hey,
So that's-
Danny, you get to those pages. Like, let me finish this level real quick.
He got his priorities straight. You got to have time to play as well as work hard, right? You got to play hard as well as work hard. And I love this picture of Armando. That just sums up.
Armando is a handsome fella.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And then here we have the other. These are the other two creators on the Plus universe, the Plus WACO Comics. This is the letterer. You heard Joey mention the colorists and the letterers and how it's a collaborative process. In terms of
And
like
this
making
was
sure.
he was an Eisner Award winner, or
Yeah, he won.
Oh, he won. Yes.
Yeah, he did the colors on the 2020 Eisner Award winning book for Afterlift. He did the colors on that book, and it won the award this year. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. That's not an award that's given away you get easily.
Yeah.
Oh,
not
prestigious. Yeah.
Yeah, you can thank Danny for getting him in.
So it's not going to be a far-fetched to say that maybe Plus WACO, their book is going to be up for an Eisner Award. Maybe we'll have to wait and see. We got to think positive, right? We got to think positive.
What I also like when we talk about your number of backers and the fact that you spoke about you are not going to work a lot of promotion and advertising, and you still have this amount of backers, just shows how the reach you've gotten.
Yeah, because
it's appreciated from.
Yeah, we feel very grateful because, like we said, we were kind of biting our nails. We we kept this under wraps for like 2 years, and so we were worried, like, man, are people gonna see it? Are they gonna know what we're about? Like, are they gonna think this is legit? And so we Danny did a great job designing the Kickstarter to make it focus on the book, all that red color pop and stuff, and now, I mean, definitely now we are promoting it. We are advertising and promoting, but at the time we definitely wanted to like surprise people, like, hey, we've been working on it, and we've been grinding on it and doing it. So yeah, it came out. We're very thankful to all of our followers and people who backed it and are getting excited about it, and we couldn't be more happy about the results. So.
I can see here in the comics, here in the comments, Danny, that you probably need to make that cat a part of the
group.
Yeah, part of the comic. I mean, or your mascot or something like that.
Yeah.
Well,
so
his name is actually Christopher Chance, and if anyone knows DC Comics, that's the Human Target.
Oh.
He has a little white patch on his back, and we named him Christopher Chance, the Kitty Target. So
I hope you're not using him as a target.
No.
No.
Yeah, exactly. And so, I'm just gonna say that go to our backers, to our fans, to go back this. I mean, it's phenomenal. It's been such a pleasure having you guys on the show, and being able to draw along with you, to hear your story. And this is the other thing. How long did it take for you guys to get 100% funded? What was the how was it
5
something
days.
5 days.
5 days
5
with
days, wow.
with minimal like advertising. They I know Armando's, he's always streaming, but he's always putting.
Yeah, that was the hardest part, because people would see, Danny would share these little close-up panels, or Joey would say, hey, we've got some exciting stuff, and I'd be on my live stream, yeah, you're gonna, and it was because people, hey, what is it? And I just you gotta see, man, you gotta wait. Trust me, I'm working. I know I'm doing these commissions. I know Danny's posting his wife's Inktober pieces. But we're doing work. You know what I mean? We're doing work. We promise we're gonna, deliver. And when we finally did it, I think people really kind of felt that energy.
And this is your reward for delivering on what you promised.
Yeah, and even here locally, when we tell people we're illustrators or we're comic artists, they think oh, you draw you doodle at Bankston's, our comic shop, or you hang out and draw. But when we were on on the news feature or this launch, it was, whoa, dude, I didn't know this was yeah, man, this is for real. This is what we want to do and give to people. So
yeah,
trying to tell you. Yeah.
Yeah, it's I am serious. You're gonna have paparazzi. They're gonna go. It's gonna put Waco on the map as the next comic mecca. Forget New York or California.
Look how dreamy Joey's eyes just became. You said paparazzi.
There's probably it's either gonna be paparazzi or it's gonna be Rick. Peering through your window.
I see you, Armando. I see you.
He's gonna come all the way from Denmark.
Amanda's like, please no. Please
Stalker.
don't see me.
Stalker. All right, and this is the part where it's always sad, because now this is where we're gonna close. We're gonna end up closing the show, and I'm gonna hand the mic off to you three individually, and we call this the Oscar speech moment. So you basically can say whatever you want, and you could say your thank yous. You can thank wonderful Rick over here for a new stalker that you've added to your the paparazzi. But yeah, Joey, final thoughts.
This show has been awesome. It was a lot of fun. For the folks that just backed us, just right here watching us, thank you so much. For everyone that's going to watch this afterwards, thank you for taking your time to even just entertaining our idea. We're putting the bait out there. This is something that we love, and we're hoping that you do too. There's something in here for everybody. There's a narrative in here for everybody. There's a character for everybody. And you have two incredible artists that are working on this book, along with an Eisner Award-winning colorist. It's going to make it all incredible. So thank you for everybody that's taken a look at it so far. Thank you for all the backers that we have now. And I hope that you guys hang with us for the long run, because we have years and years and years of content ready to get out there. So thanks for having this time for us, man. A lot.
Well said.
It was our pleasure, man.
Yeah. So Danny, what you got to say?
Like Joey said, I want to thank everyone who did back us today. I want to thank everyone for joining in. I want to thank you guys for letting us be here and be idiots. Usually it's just my wife, and she suffers enough. So I want to thank her for supporting all this stuff, because man, this is a lot of work. And when you have a regular job and then you come home and you do this stuff on, up until 10, 11 o'clock at night, there's a lot of missed time in there. I want to thank these two guys for letting me be part of it as well. Armando and Joey, because, Mondo's like, you need to stream more, you need to put stuff out there. And I'm like, man, I don't know. I look, my mom barely likes my stuff.
You're a natural, Danny. I am so glad that you're here with us now, and that we got to see your art in action. it's everything Armando said it was about. And so
Yeah,
it was a pleasure.
you didn't disappoint at all.
Well,
Yeah.
Thank you. So.
Armando, take us out. What's your final thoughts?
Same thing. Thank you all the backers. Thank you guys. Thanks to Danny and Joey. I mean, it's good when you get to work with good people, just in general, not just talented people, but just good human beings. And then my wife, the same, like Danny said, with my wife. I mean, we're kind of going through some personal stuff too, but I mean, she's always in support and she wants us to succeed. And you know, sometimes she'll tell me like, hey, don't you have to like do commissions, or shouldn't you be like doing this? I'm like, yeah, okay, let me go, you know, and stuff like that. And my kids are great too. They kind of look up, you know, I like that they like it, you know, that they think it's pretty cool and stuff. And then just a reminder, guys, like we have all kinds of stuff available on the Kickstarter. We've got commissions, sketch covers. We don't want to share
Original art.
what the unlockable goals are, because they're supposed to be unlockable. But I think you guys will find them really fun and exciting and stuff. And so we just look forward to the future, man. You should see our group chat. We're talking about all kinds of stuff and in the future, and we think this could go the distance with a lot of things. So
I do too.
I did.
Yep.
Sure.
Feel free to follow all of our individual socials and message us about commissions and whatnot, or you know, things aside from the Kickstarter. We might not be able to do it right away, but you know, at least you can kind of get an idea what we're about. And we also hope this leads to other things outside of this too. We're still working and we still want other work. We just like to create and things like that. For upcoming artists and creators, just feed into your imagination. Love it, own it, have fun with it. That's what we're doing. All of us, we love comics, man. We love comics. We love reading comics, and you guys do the same thing. And hopefully, maybe you know you can grow from that. But that's kind of it.
Well said. I'm about ready to like. You've renewed. Your guys are inspirational. Hearing your story. It's like I gotta
maybe Gerald will be good.
One day.
One
day. I have to find my way. I gotta go to one of your drinking draws.
I'm sorry, Gerald, but every time I go really hard on you, Joey makes the funniest faces, and so I have to do it after I see every face he does when I take the piss of you. That's why I've been so hard at you today, because his reaction has been perfect.
Oh, bad, man. I don't mean to...
I think you got a fan there, Joey.
I'm a fan of all three of these.
So
guys.
I think Rick is gonna print out a picture of you and put it right next to his bedstand. So every night he's gonna say, Joey.
Oh no, that's Mondo's place. That's Mondo's place.
Good night, Joey. Yeah, but I love you guys' story. You guys were phenomenal. Got a great product, a great book. People were already sponsoring it and backing you, and it's been a pleasure having you on the show. And I want to basically say that everybody, if you look at their windows, their individual windows, it has how you can individually contact each one of them. But if you look at the bottom, we showed you their Kickstarter page. Go there. Show these guys some love. Support their book because the Toro universe is coming.
Coming for you, brother.
It is coming. This is where we all do. Yeah, you've been warned. Toro universe is coming. So on a more serious note, this is how we close the show. We talk about a charity group that we work with that we always want to end on a really positive note to talk about this particular charity group. And that charity group is, if you look at the bottom, is Golden Fight. And let me share a screen so people can get to know a little bit about who Golden Fight is. So Golden Fight is an organization that is near and dear to our heart. I like to call them a big enough and small enough organization. Small enough in terms of they're not nationwide. They have a very focused approach. So that allows them to keep things local. And they're in like my neck of the woods, which is like the mid-Atlantic region. That's like DC, Virginia, Delaware. And basically what they do, this is where the big part of it is. They have big hearts. They are an organization that helps families that are who have children that are dealing with tragic illnesses, in this case, like cancer. And often when families are battling with this, when they're focusing in terms of trying to get their child healed, financial difficulties will occur. And that's where Golden Fight comes in. Golden Fight, they pretty much say that, I mean, they raise, of the money that they raise, 97% of it goes directly to the family. A very nominal amount, that 2 or 3% they keep is just for administrative things. A lot of their leadership does their work voluntary, or on a volunteer basis, because they've experienced these kind of illnesses within their own family, and that gives them a unique perspective in terms of what these families are going through, what these children are going through. So if you have it in your if you have time, please check out goldinfight.org. It's a great organization, and if there's a charity that you would think would be worthy of supporting, this is one of them. So check them out, goldenfight.org. So let me close this, and guys, great show. We pushed 2 hours 20 minutes. Didn't even feel that way because it was so good. I encourage you guys. I mean, the door is open. You guys are welcome to come back, especially when I see big things in the future. So you're welcome on the show anytime. You let us know when you want to promote something. You have our undivided attention, and we're always wanting to help independent creators get the word out, get eyes on their stuff. And it's so easy to get eyes on a product that is this good. So check out Plus WACO Comics and the Plus Universe. And Joey, Danny, Armando, thank you so much. Thank you to my co-host Rick, and stay tuned for another episode of Comics Cast Let It Out next Sunday, 1 p.m. Follow us on Indie Comics Cast on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook, and we will see you later. Keep on drawing.
Yes.
You guys have a good Sunday.
Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.